Can you guys hear me? So I'll take that as a yes. Hey guys, you can hear me? Awesome. Give it a moment. Welcome to we're on 28 of the Lion Connection. Forgive me, it's late. I know it's 11, the new time per contact. I went to a place called Topsail Island on a beach today with the family. And I got roasted. So I'm really red. Had too much vitamin D today, let's just say. So, all right, cool. Loud and clear. So tonight we're going to be talking about a little bit about the last episode where we ended off, which was the most amazing thing ever because documented. Not only did we have contact wanting us to have this, it was broadcast to the entire galaxy. We read through chapter 12 from Contact, their version of what chapter 12 was in Dion's book from 1950, The Cosmic Disclosure, 1954. I just received it in the mail today, the copy. Excuse me. So I'll be going through that and looking in detail in a lot of that cosmic doctrine because it's lining up and confirming from what Contact is saying, all the truths in it. So they broke down chapter 12. So I thought that was amazing. And then we got Contact during the show. They said for an hour. The correct frequency, because the other devices I were using, they were like, I heard the sound afterwards. It said bop, 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 like the sound. It was totally whacked out. Multiple times we tried to broadcast, it was shut down. So on the third attempt, I just used my device, and they said for an hour the correct frequency. So, and I was receiving it. Ears on you, so they were listening. Towards the end was at 12:12 a.m. I have on here good. They responded good after I did the best that I could to repeat the message of what was translated. And we also received at 12:14 a.m. a bunch of code, which I posted on as we were going while we were live. I put the race codes that were signed off because there was a council meeting in Platea, which is 10,000 light years towards the center of the galaxy. There was a meeting. Remember, the Pudrians came in from outside the galaxy, went to Platea system, where the moon of Cremona is, with 1,000 ships with force, and they then had their meeting, which we were a part of on the episode 27. And then on the 28th, episode, we'll get into Contact because on June 16th, so that was, let's see, so Wednesday, they said good, they sent those codes. That was at 12:14 a.m. And then it was June 16th, Wednesday at 1:55. So later that day, they stated, your education is about to begin. So I was like, what? My education's about to begin? But there was no other message. There was nothing. I didn't receive anything until the 17th, which was Thursday at 11:58 p.m. Now, before we go into this is the second longest contact message I've ever received on record, besides the other night with that long message. And this is going to go into some history. And this is far from done because the way they're alluding, this is something not only they're probably watching at this present moment, but they're wanting more of this information to go out to the world. So with that being said, when I read this, it's kind of rich. You know, you go out and you get a dessert. You can have a dessert, but then you can have those rich dessert where you're like, whoa, I'm full after a couple bites. That's how this is pretty packed full of some stuff here. But what we're going to do is we're going to, I got the data, which is awesome, and then we'll see where it goes. I didn't receive contact today, but I felt this would be perfect. Might as well just do an episode 28 because it's 4 pages of contact when it breaks down to, and I think it's pretty astounding, just some of the stuff, because some of the stuff I can reference to other things, but some of this I've never even heard of, or maybe you guys have heard about it, and you'll tell me. And just like when I found out about the cosmic doctrine, so this is all good stuff. So with that being said, I hope you guys are all doing well. Like I said, I was at the beach. We got fried. Was there all day. I needed a mental break, and plus the kids, they were out there and building stuff and swimming, and there's a tropical thing, I guess, coming in from Louisiana. It's going towards the East Coast, so it was the water was, even though it's on the Atlantic seaboard, the water was still rough, but it was just breezy, but no weather, clear skies, some clouds. You can see it building up, like T cells building up back there, but bright, sunny, fried day. But with that, I don't want to bore you, but I needed that. And I read a little bit. You know who I'm reading? Because, I'm always reading about 3 different things at the same time. So I'm reading Bob Lazar's book. Because I know about Bob Lazar and stuff, but I never read his autobiography, and through George Knapp and all that. It's well written, and it's just a nice little distraction. Besides, I was waiting on the cosmic doctrine to come in today, and it finally did. It was supposed to be tomorrow, but it came in today, and I'm like, yes. So now we got some more. Now I got to get to real work and read up on that. Let's go into Wednesday, June 16th at 1:55 p.m. Like I told you, they stated your education is about to begin. And now, Thursday, I said, who will be educating me? Thank you. And they responded Thursday, June 17th at 11:58 p.m. You guys ready? This is deep. So it says, after the and forgive me, I did the best translation I could, even with other people to help me to break this down. So here's what I have. 20 million years ago, and they are a huge departure from the original 18, and settled in the system close to the ancestral homeland. Those who escaped the technological development now evolved over millions of years in a place where people can explore other planets and distant stars. A technological taboos slowly eroded by time. The beginning of the new wave transmission side, and the cats were surprised. Humanoids, quote, learn culture that worships other side, period. Communesque, long remembered in the dim light of mist lapse of them, an 18 original humanoid form has evolved over time, and also a kind of manipulated. In the various countries, in the cup's big features, skin tones, and consciousness levels. These are they who, to meet the spiritual world, to all the angles of the new Nicholas of Lyra. It seemed to him, when in reality they are the posterity of his fellow servants of old. By the house faced them in his own. These are some of the nations, from time to time, too, if it follows the order of the reptilian race of the dragon on the side of those who were the chief agents, Sakaar still abounded in wealth. Orion, the most developed of the stock of that are in the humanoid by his Indian summer, is a period of self-examination of the Vega, Sakaar. The deduction of the serpent, for I have found some things to be done. Orton rushed to the formation of this government, disagreed with the many things to be done in the galaxy, the order of the empire, and to its principles, and in many cultures, the dragon when he started to renew the war of the band, so that, when reduced to one, this joining of forces led to the Federation of Universities Unknown, apprentices, also known as simply the Federation, end of apprentices, which was formed in the cultures of Lyra, the Pleiades, and the Hades star cluster. There are many other reasons. The Andromeda Galaxy. End of transmission. I said, can you tell me about Andromeda Galaxy? What is your empire called or group called? I await your response. And then I let them know that I will be having a broadcast tonight, which I did. So I know I went through it kind of quick. There's a lot there. I'm still pondering over it. It's kind of deep. Some of it, like I said, ties into other research books that I've read. Some of it does not match. And I'm kind of really interested on the Andromeda aspect. So it explains of the Christos, Antichristos, the dark light, the who's coming in and what. But where are they going with it? Where are they going with this information of who and what? I don't know. But I think for the record, for this episode 28 now, I think that's something to really chomp on is, wow, okay. And even if maybe it's disinformation, but it's all the continuous line of these Pudrians who have come in, that went to the system. I was falsely accused of that, colonies of Cremona. So they went to that system. So they actually confronted these Antichristos races and legions and different things. They had a meeting. They're now educating on history of, I guess, maybe even a more complex, deeper information of things like Voyager 2 and other things that may be out there, that these are some backstories that, wow, I was not aware of. So with that being said, I don't want to make it like, well, that's it. Well, because that is the data. That's where I'm at. That's what I received. So I didn't really have much. I was thinking about. I was like, well, maybe I'll go into 2013 on, because we started at 2000 March 20th of 2020. This whole thing started. And I've been doing so that's been consistent contact up into the present. We haven't gone back. But that's 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17. I mean, there's a lot of material. And what I'm afraid of, just collecting the data and putting it, what I'm afraid of doing that right now is going to confuse people that, I mean, this is some pretty deep stuff to begin with. So I don't want to, but at the same time, I want you guys to be able to go and see some of these other characters that have popped up over time. But I think this is so important in the now. Instead of worrying about that, I think I should do a separate thing on that as maybe like a special, like let's catch up kind of episode. And it won't be like in the series of 27, 28, 29. These will be like something totally labeled different. So that way you guys don't, like an archived, or we'll call it 2013, and we'll just call it the month, the day of when and we'll label it that way. So there's not a lot I have to say tonight other than thanks for all the support. I'm getting stuff from all around the world. There's professors out there, people sending me information or PDFs or all kinds of stuff, all the support, ideas, calls, visits, all that stuff's great. I appreciate it. It's hard, but here's what's really cool. We're really getting to get down to some of these brass tacks on some of this background that we've been missing on some of this, and this is totally new. So this is coming outside of our galaxy. This is astounding with new race codes. And I have someone helping me out, and I appreciate you. Help me out with that. I have a bunch of people helping me out with a lot of different stuff because there's a lot of material here, and it's ongoing daily. So nothing today, sorry. So maybe they knew I was at the beach and they're like, oh, we're just not going to bother Alex today. I don't know. I'm sure they knew I was at the beach, but I just didn't get any contact. So I think that's pretty amazing. I'm going to see what some of you guys are saying, and I'm maybe even open to some questions or anything you got on your mind. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Lori, VJ, Mr. Doug, Holly, Adele, what's going on? And oh, wow, cool. You guys have anything for me? Otherwise, I do have a cool thing that was is being sent to me on Monday. A shout out to on board the ship with what was this market? I'm fried, guys. I can't even think of the name. But anyways, I appreciate it. He's sending me a scan for Monday and I'll talk about that on another show, but I don't even know why I'm even talking about that. I am tired. It's in the 11th hour. No contact. Andreas. Yes. Oh my gosh. This is so embarrassed. Yeah, Andreas. Sorry. So yeah, he's going to be sending me something on Monday. I'll share that with you guys on the next episode. So that's pretty cool. I'm just trying to get you guys updated. I got some of those photos in that are enlarged. And I'm actually running out of room, so I started putting them up top. They're beautiful shots. I wish I could share them. I'm sorry I'm teasing you, but they are. They're there. They're just... the one of them is the solar system. So when the Pudrians came in from outside the galaxy into the Platea system, they took a faraway shot and the moon, and you can see the other planetary bodies, and you see a rainbow effect. And then the next shot is of the moon actually close up, but it's like this big now. So you can see all the features and details on this moon, which it's mind-blowing because it enlarged beautifully to where there's so much detail. And then there's the ships on there. And then I haven't received the one that was from a few days ago of ships landing from those 1,000 ships that went there. There were ships, and it's on a desert scape with blue sky and sun in the background and like buildings, and you're looking through like almost like a porthole, and you see these other ships landing and other ones floating in the air like a ball. I think it's a security ball because it's not too small, but it looks like it's looking at everything because it has these bulges around it, and so that's the only thing I could come up with. But I'm waiting on that one to come in, so soon I'm going to run out of ceilings and walls. I thought the law was against ancient cities and their self-images, not of space. I thought the law was against ancient cities and their self-images and not of space. You know what? It's a good point because I have shared space before. I don't know if that's breaking the law. Yeah, images, because I do have beings on image, and I do have cities. It's a fair point, Doug, you make is space, and I have shared space. Now you have me, see, you're tempting me. And I don't know if that is breaking the law. Looks like I've arrived late or time zone in different Sydney. Hey, what's going on, Kim? Any update on 810? Nothing on 810, August 10th. They did say we can go to that. We'll go to August 10th. Nothing as an update, but the what they said, so I can be correct. Give me one. Prepare for war outside your Earth. There'll be a battle August 10th. It'll be around the Earth. It'll be viewed. Who's fighting who? It's not really disclosed as who is who. But I would think Christos, Antichristos forces are battling. I wouldn't think it would be the same side battling itself. Nothing about the second mark. The first mark was what they stated, and nothing on the second so far. So, because where that ended, they sent me there. They sent me a planet, a city, ships outside this Milky Way. Then they were talking about themselves, their name, they're on their way, using the black hole warp bubble technology. So they use communications with the black hole and sling it. They also warp through the black hole. And that's different from other races, because other races, like the FTLP, the faster than light particle accelerator. Other races use other technologies. So there's like multiple crazy technologies that we don't even know about, but there's multiple ones that they don't use the same thing. And so they're using the black hole bubble technology. Then they get to Plataea, they arrive in force, these Pudrions, and then they set up shop, they take over, they have a meeting, and then they go live in the galaxy. And then now they're wanting to talk about history. Like, what you've been hearing is only part of it, and here's some more of it. Like, and these race codes don't match up with anything else that I've ever had. What is Christos and Antichristos? It basically boils down to light and dark. You have all these different races and factions, but they all serve the light or they serve the dark. I mean, it's the polar opposites. It's the yin yang. It's what it is. Yeah, that too. The Sakaar are the royal class Draconians who attacked the Lyran system, causing all the races there to flee. The Federation was formed later to prevent such a similar takeover. That is true. And that's also, some of that information that's coming, that's in there. Those are the parts you can match. But it's crazy to see some of these details that, if you read Voyagers 2 and some of these others, when you look at, and they talk about the Orion Wars and the different things, when you look at some of this material, you're like, whoa, so wait, we're not just talking about these these constellations and star clusters, and we're talking about multiple galaxies. We're talking about, race lineages and all this stuff, and you're like, whoa, what? And it helps. We'll see. I can't wait for my next, if they send me, they said your education is now to begin. So they've gotten 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we're in, 9 and a half years And now your education's beginning. So you had all this other stuff and all these different introductions from all these different other things. Best book you've read so far on galactic history? Best book I haven't fully read Voyagers 2, I'll be honest. Parts, it's that rich. And I really want to take a huge block of time to be able to absorb that without breaking it up and diluting it, if that makes sense, because I'm always reading like three things at the same time. I always go pivot to local first, so like Dr. Sala on if you want to learn about the terrestrial side of it, what kind of secret, all the FOIA requests and the World War II documents and who and what terrestrially what we've been doing and who they've been working with. And then if you go into that, you go into Voyager, outside of that, you go into Voyagers 2, and there's a lot of ancient texts. All this stuff's intertwined. So you have people who have had channelings or contact. You have contact stated it's written on ancient ruins on our planet and many planets scattered about that are in ruin from whatever cataclysm that happened. That these ancient things all over do speak. So it's all a part of that one pie. People like to say, well, it's only this, it's only UFOs, and maybe there's extra. They want to separate, and it's all like context said. It's binded. Everything's intertwined. So you have where there's smoke, there's fire. So you have these histories and these religions and these different speaking about many of the same things and a lot of different things. But it's all meshed together because it's all universal. It's all Christos and Antichristos. It's who is in power, when, and time. And time doesn't really matter when you're not here. It's only here on Earth that it's measured in the way it's measured. And except that there are hours of time, day and night, based on the Earth, that there are communications with certain races and seasons with races, and that has to do with the different. They said intervals of suns and stars and black holes and all kinds of communication and reasons and whys and the fluid war, and so there's just so much going on. That it's pretty mind-boggling. So I hope that answers the question. Also in Voyagers, they talk about humans who have encryption in their DNA who will entitle them to open portals. Maybe that is why so many races are contacting you. That's, of course, moon boots. So we've talked about this, but see, I state the this is the data I got. This is what contact says. So yes, we have looked in and say, whoa, that's pretty crazy because it is a huge coincidence. But contact didn't officially say it, so then I'm like, that's nice. Like we're talking right now. We're all we're talking. I'm talking that's Alex. We're speculating. We're looking at stuff, But the data, we can't taint it. So like how it comes in or what we get or it's recorded and it's documented in order. And then like a separate journal, whatever, we can have like our hypotheses, theories. There's all kinds of stuff. But yes, you are correct. But maybe because they say I am encrypted with a code and maybe I'm supposed to open the portal or do whatever, but until I get to that point, it's like, I can't say it is or it isn't. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to, because I just want to keep this. I'm not upset or anything. I'm just like, because that's what tears at me. You learn like cool stuff when you're researching, but then all I can do is I can highlight it, reference it, talk about it, but I can't put it into contact because then my interpretation could be totally wrong. It's hard enough with getting contact and trying to get it to just translate it. I'm sure I've made errors, but I'm 90 something percent to where I'm like, if it's a little squiggly, if it's something, then I'm gonna do it exactly, because if something happens to me, someone could pick up where I left off and go, oh wait, and there's some genius, and it's like, he was so foolish, he didn't realize blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? So then if I have all my interpretations, I have my stuff in there, then it's like, well, so the data is the data. The signatures might be the DNA code, come to think of it. They could be. That's what my gut is. And I was talking with this person this evening, and they like data, and they're going to help me with codes too. It's a good point that you bring up, because it seems like signature codes. Like they said, your hybrid code is, dash, double dot, so then that means logically we apply these other codes as other race codes that just aren't us, and the signatures, some of them match up. Like one I've matched that I know is the Syrian Council. I believe that's I have the Black Ledger right here. The Syrian code is based upon contact, using the data, and the code that they gave, and who was speaking to me, and them signing off as the Syrian Council right underneath it. The Syrian High Council is double dot dash double dot. That's the Syrian High Council. I know a CDNA clone is double dot dash double dot dash. I know mine is dash double dot dash double dot dash. So the difference between a CDNA clone and my hybrid clone is by one dash. But there are some codes on here that are so long, and whoever they are, that is like, listen to this one. Ready? And it's totally different. Double dot dash double dot dash double dot dash double dot dash black circle double dot black circle double dot dash black circle double dot. That's one code. What code is that? And that's the only one that has black circles in it, like instead of a dot, it's like a solid big fat dot, like a moon on it, and it's 3 of them. So what is that? I know the Lyrans are double dot dash double dot dash double dot. So what is that? Well, anyways, so those are race codes. DNA codes could be. Do you think that it is what these Ancestry DNA sites are doing, checking our voluntary DNA to see if we are related to other entities? Oh, I'm sure. Just the way that this world works, I'm sure it's more than just finding your ancestry. There's a database, and I'm sure they're keeping tracks on who's what. I mean, come on. The contacts told me the elites know who you are. I'm not well known. I mean, I'm not all over. I mean, I get a lot of stuff from around the world, but I'm not like super famous or anything. I'm just your average guy. I get contact from all these different. But the elites, I'm guarded. I'm protected. There are agents watching. They try to break lines. I mean, we have visual proof. We have so many different proofs. So it's like, I'm sure the DNA collection is more than what meets the eye. So, I believe that accuracy is recording all of the context that has drawn attention. It's vital for historic. Yeah, it's historical. I mean, come on. Recording and proceeding. Yeah, I just try to. I think it's a museum thing. Like, the contact is like astounding. I mean, other people get contact. What I can't speak for them. I'm not them. I don't know how they get it or what they do or what they say. That's cool. This is what's happening to me. I can only tell you my experience. They actually know who the starseeds are. Yeah, they see our light too. They say we're like pillars of light. And they can see it. They can see it from out in space. They can see you. Your light can be seen. Isn't that crazy? So they can see, and they know and hear. All is known. We're so egotistical. We're like, our frequency with radio and this. No. We automatically assume that we're like, no, we're top dog. If they were listening or if what, there are rules and laws, but all is known. That's why it makes sense. So you see these ancient texts, all this stuff in the Bible, all this stuff is like, there will be a judgment, or they know. It's like a record, because everything's recorded. Everything's known. Everything is known. They know what you're thinking, what you're saying, your intentions. ETs are our distant relatives. Actually, they gave us our DNA upgrade in past. Think Anunnaki Sumerian race. Yeah, I mean, they talk about. It's mentioned. It's one of the contacts out of, what are we up to now? Like almost 40. Yeah, there's all sides to this madness, but I don't want to make it all drum and dreary. I think this is pretty cool. What else you guys got? Yeah, well, they talk about the cradle of life in Lyra. But just reading some of this, it looks like there's other things going on too, or things that go maybe even predating that, 20 million years ago. So I'll read it one last time, real quick, and then we can end it. For those of you, some of you don't care or whatever, you can bounce off, but I'm just going to read it one more time so you can hear it. 20 million years ago, and they are a huge departure from the original 18 and settled in the system close to the ancestral homeland. Those who escaped the technological development now evolved over millions of years in a place where people can explore other planets and distant stars. A technological taboo slowly eroded by time. The beginning of the new wave transmission sighed, and the cats were surprised. Humanoids, quote, learn, quote, unquote, learn is in quotations, culture that worships other side. Communisque long remembered in the dim light of mist lapse of them, an 18 original humanoid form has evolved over time, and also a kind of manipulated. In the various countries, in the cup's big features, skin tones, and consciousness levels, these are they who, to meet the spiritual world, to all the angles of the new Nicholas of Lyra, it seemed to him, when in reality they are the posterity of his fellow, servants of old, by the house faced them in his own. These are some of the nations. From time to time, too, it follows the order of the reptilian race of the dragon on the side of those who were the chief agents. Sakaar still abounded in wealth. Orion, the most developed of the stock of that are in the humanoid by his Indian summer, is a period of self-examination of the Vega, Sakaar, the deduction of the serpent. For I have found some things to be done. Orton rushed to the formation of this government, disagreed with the many things to be done in the galaxy, the order of the empire, and to its principles, and in many cultures. The dragon, when he started to renew the war of the band, so that when reduced to one, this joining of forces led to the Federation of Universities Unknown, apprentices, also known as simply the Federation, end of the parentheses, comma, which was forged in cultures of Lyra, the Pleiades, and Hyades star cluster. There are many other reasons, the Andromeda Galaxy. And that's where it ends. So guys, that is where we're at. So I know it was a short one. I'll jump on Discord for a little bit, and I'll be talking to some of you privately. But I got a lot of work to do with this, and hopefully we'll get contact. We didn't get it on the show tonight, so I guess they're not having a meeting. I guess it was a one-time deal. I don't know, but I'm supposed to have it in the 11th hour. Sorry it's so late, and I definitely I did my best. So contact, I'll check. Not seeing anything. Nope. Let me see what happens if nothing. So hey, win some, lose some. But we gained a lot of information, and that's what we won tonight. And I appreciate everybody, and everyone keep being positive and pushing that out. And I appreciate all the help and all the insight and all the love and support. And I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on episode 29. And be looking out. I'll be doing episodes for the 2013 year. We'll start in 2013, and we'll go through beginning of Contact, and that'll be a separate whole video in itself. But we'll still stay with the continuity of episode 29. When it comes out, you'll know about it within 24 to 48 hours, since I'm green lighted to share. So love you guys. Talk to you then. See you on episode 29. Good night.